So this is a really interesting subject. The United States is working on doubling aid to Argentina to $40 billion by apparently tapping into some private funding sources, and they're looking into providing another $20 billion to help finance Argentina through a mix of financing from sovereign funds and private sector. But it's kind of, there's a hook to it, it seems.
Well, there is a hook. I don't know that it's official, right? But the hook is President Trump has indicated that he could claw back those funds if the Argentinian president doesn't win re-election. So, I mean, ouch.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little problematic, but he might feel very strongly about who's running there.
There was a huge response in Argentina, though, to that, of course, as you might imagine. So, look, just to put this in context. So we know we've talked about USAID. We've talked about how they had their funding cut, right? That's the international aid development stuff that the United States was doing. Their total budget was $35 billion. And now we're saying the U.S. is giving $20 billion to Argentina, and they're trying to find private funding for another $20 billion. While the government is shut down, by the way, our government is shut down.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are really upset about that right now, saying, why are we giving all this money away when we've got federal employees who are not working right now? It also has caused some problems among American farmers. Elizabeth Schultz reports from Washington.
The U.S. bailout of Argentina could double to $40 billion. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the Treasury is working with the private sector to raise another $20 billion for Argentina. But U.S. soybean farmers who we've been speaking with are baffled. They have been unable to sell any of their crop this year to China because of the trade war. And China is now buying massive amounts of soybeans from Argentina instead.
Ouch.
Right? So we've spoken this week about Marjorie Taylor Greene and how she has broken with her party on a number of issues. This is one of them, actually. And one of the things that she says is Americans are getting decimated by the high cost of living, skyrocketing insurance costs. Tell me how it's America first to bail out a foreign country with $20 or even $40 billion in taxpayer dollars. Now, it's not all taxpayer dollars, but $20 billion of it would be.
Yeah, I mean, and $40 billion is a significant amount of money. And I can understand the complaint by the farmers, too, because the last time I heard about soybean exports to China, they had dropped to zero. We're just not exporting any soybeans.
Yeah.
Farmers are dying, especially the soybean farmers, and now we're giving $20 to $40 billion to Argentina, and they're selling soybeans all day long to China. They're making a boatload, no doubt.
Yeah, it just really struck me. Excuse me. It struck me that we're talking about giving away $40 billion to a foreign country. I'm not opposed to foreign aid. I am intrigued at the idea that this seems to be the right time to hand over that amount of money. Remember what happened with Brazil. They didn't get foreign aid from the U.S. They got slapped with additional tariffs.
Right. And again, what we talked about earlier, the White House said they want to help their neighbors with the aid package, but Trump also said this. If the current president, Milei, who's running, did not prevail on October 26th, the money may not be granted. So what does that say to the voters?
Is that electoral extortion? Like, I don't even know what to call that, but I know people in Argentina is like, hey, do not listen. You know what to do. Show up at the polls. I saw that the Argentinian, whatever their money unit is, that it dropped overnight because of this
you would think just
threat,
the opposite.
Basically.
Right.
Well, it's a threat of saying, well, it may be there, but you only if you elect the right guy.
I wonder what that does to the voters there. I mean, that's
it may fire them up. I don't know.
In the wrong way. You're right.
Well,
right.
it depends on what side you stand on, right?
Our economy's dying. We could use the $20 billion.
Yeah.
Maybe we vote for the guy we don't want.
Well, Argentina is Argent. Oh my gosh, I'm tired today. Argentina's president is pretty far right. He is a pal of Trump's, and it's one of the things that the administration has said they want to pull South America further to the right, and this is one way they think they can do it, I think. But one of the things, again, people are saying he's not pro-democracy. He is a lot more authoritarian, and so the opposition to his electoral campaign is saying, look, we are pro-democracy, and we're willing to come to the polls and say we would rather have democracy than this money.
Right, and of course, the opposition to this has been pretty fierce. The former president, Cristina Fernandez, said Trump to Milei in the United States, our agreements depend on who wins an election, Argentines. You already know what to do. So she's saying don't be blackmailed by this.
Yeah. I see something this is on X, but an Illinois soybean farmer who, of course, is impacted by, we just talked about the soybean exports having dwindled to nothing. He says MAGA now stands for Make Argentina Great Again. A bailout is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
I don't know. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. What's going on with Argentina? This $40 to $20 billion bailout, maybe with a hook that you elect the right person, and what that's doing to so many. It's so far-ranging that we're talking about American soybean farmers being caught up in this. I mean, I don't know. It's an unusual thing anyway. I don't understand why we're doing it. There's got to be some political angle behind all this. If he's a far right leader, and maybe Trump thinks he's an ally,
seems to be an election
get us
angle.
get us some love in that part of the world. But again,
well, at the same time, remember, so we're Venezuela. They've admitted this year now that the CIA is doing covert operations in Venezuela, and they expect to have ground operations as well. So
and I think they just shot down the 5th Venezuelan boat coming.
Sixth, I think.
Yeah,
I think 6th. So, anyway, that headline just really stood out to me. That the United States is going to be bailing out Argentina if they elect the right person.